Space Shuttle Columbia, NASA's first space shuttle. It was launched for first time on 12th April 1981. Over 22 years of service, it completed 27 missions. It was launched for 28th time on 1st February 2003 for mission STS-107. The crew consists of 7 members: Commander Rick, Pilot Williams, Mission Specialist David, Kalpana, Michael, Laurel, and Payload Specialist Ilan.
Debris Assessment Team DAT was formed with NASA and contractor engineers. The first formal DAT meeting was held on 21st January, 5 days into the mission. The foam is not considered to be a structural material, rather than just to be reduced aerodynamic stresses. With no additional on-orbit picture, DAT used greater mathematical model to find out the depth of the foam penetration that caused breach. They said that the foam is less dense than ice, so 21 angle of foam impact will not penetrate reinforced carbon composite, which is below the tile protection. So on the 8th day, MMC emailed the crew that by video analysis it is found that the foam has struck orbital left wing along with the video of the foam striking. MMC started there was absolutely no concern for entry because the phenomena had been seen. Columbia continued its 16-day mission without further incident until the disaster happened. Their fate had been sealed with foam stuck. After that, on 1st Feb 2003, Columbia was returning as per guidance, but just before 9 am, some normal readings begins to show in abnormal readings. They first lost reading from sensors of left wing where foam stuck, then tire pressure reading too. Then the spacecraft communicator contacted to Columbia to discuss readings at 8:59 am. The crew then replied back with Roger, followed by a word that was cut off in mid-sentence. At that point, Columbia was near the Las, which is 61,150 meters above the ground. Mission Control made several attempts to get in touch with the astronauts with no success. Eventually, they lost contact, and it was informed to them that TV channel is showing smoke, flames, and debris falling from the sky. Then NASA controllers realized and confirmed that Columbia was lost. Columbia was an altitude of 20,000 feet, so no chance for crew to escape, and secondly does not allow it. All 7 people aboard Columbia died when the crew cabin ruptured from stasis about 38 seconds after the shuttle broke up.
Soon after the disaster, a 12-man investigations team was set up, headed by 4-star Admiral Hal Gaiman. Incident that occurred 82 seconds after the launch. A foam detaching from external fuel tank and hitting the shuttle at 500 miles per hour forms a shower of particles. It weighs about 1.7 pounds and is approximately the size of small briefcase.
Investigation board ran around all over NASA, and at that time he was a center director at the Ames Research Center, ran all over NASA saying, the foam did it, the foam did it, the foam did it, telling anybody who would listen, here's how, this is why, and the foam did it. And yeah, there was resistance to that. People didn't want to believe it, and until they demonstrated it.
Over the next several months, the Columbia Accident Investigation Board would conclude that superheated gases entered a breach in Columbia's left wing during re-entry and melted its internal aluminum structure. They blamed the breach on the foam strike during liftoff. The board conducted tests by shooting a piece of foam from a nitrogen-powered cannon at nearly 500 miles per hour directly at a carbon-carbon panel. Even though the foam struck a glancing blow, it produced a hole 16 inches across, more than large enough to cause the breach. The board also made several recommendations. It called for modifications to the foam on the external tank to reduce debris strikes. It also recommended that astronauts be trained to repair the thermal protection system in orbit, and that better photographic coverage be provided between launch and descent. The remaining space shuttles are expected to fly for at least another decade, as they continue to play a vital role for the International Space Station. While various replacements for the shuttle are under study, none are expected to come online in the near future.
The question was that why a foam detach? So, the design of a bipod is 30 years old and out of date. Because of the complex shape of bipod area, foam is applied by hand and air, and debris can introduce in it. This effect leads to crab pumping. Air which is introduced applying liquefied due to direct contact with liquid nitrogen tank during long temperature rises, due to which liquid evaporate and expand and increase pressure in foam, and stresses develop and cause the foam to fall off. During re-entry, thermal protection is basically designed to protect orbiter from very heat, which is generated during re-entry from friction. About 27,000 thermal ties are attached to orbiter to withstand 2000 Fahrenheit. The leading wing edge are fitted with RCC panels, 22 on each wing, where temperature reached to 3000 Fahrenheit. The disaster was caused by the branch thermal protection system. It created a hole approximately 6 to 10 inches wide in RCC panel 8. Breach in the thermal protection system allowed superheated air to penetrate the leading edge insulation and continuously melt the aluminum structure of the left wing, resulting in the disintegration of the structure until increasing aerodynamic forces cause loss of control, failure of wing, breakup of the orbiter. Basically, aluminum begins to melt and shape of wing change, which created drag forces and additional heat. This drag tried to pull the shuttle to the left, but the orbiter's computer fought to keep on, caused by firing thrusters and moving the wing surfaces. Eventually, control system lost the battle and the orbitals went into a spin to the left. The spin put too much stresses on the orbiters and caused it to break apart into several large pieces. These pieces then broke into smaller pieces as a result of speed and temperature at the time. The crew compartment broke away intact from the orbiter. Moreover, RCC panel must be removed by the foam strike because of the panel aging, that is oxidation, due to which panel masses reduces, and the panel 8, which caused failure, was not replaced prior to mission, which have completed its lifespan.